Hey, Megan Scully, and this is the Limerick Post Show. And joining me now, it's Limerick actor Liam O'Brien. How are you getting on?
I'm good, Megan. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. We are talking about Let There Be Theatre. So there is something happening. There is going to be at a show that's taking place. You are the actor for it. But first of all, we want to recap. It has been a full year now since the theatres and to gigs and venues and everything shut down on us. As an actor, like I'm sure it has been, the most difficult year for you professionally. But can you maybe give us a bit of insight of like what it has been like?
Yeah, I mean, you're spot on. It has been the most difficult year that I remember. I know, look, in the grand scheme of things, once you've your health, you're doing okay. Want to get that out of the way. But in terms of being an actor, an entertainer, a singer, what I do, everything's gone. I mean, I think I was taking a month off a regular residency I had because it was going to be a month and then another month and then the summer and then winter came. So it's been very difficult for everyone in the industry. Obviously, myself speaking firsthand, it's been very difficult. Yeah, I mean, we haven't been able to do what we do for a living.
There's been no kind of, I feel like there's been very little support for you guys from the government as well in terms of when you can get back onto stage with crowds and having an audience there. And it seemed like you said you were a month initially and then it just got extended and extended, and here we are a full year later. And I think everyone's been like, everyone wants to go to gigs and to shows, and you can tell, like, not just you guys want to get on the stage, we want to be there watching you. So I think, I think the one good thing to come out of this is that when the doors do open again, there's going to be a lot of people flooding back into all these venues across Ireland.
I hope so, and I think so. I mean, I'll remain optimistic because if not, what's the waiting for? I kept saying we did a little series of readings in the Bell Table in September when the Bell Table was allowed open for about 4 or 5 weeks, and it was so managed and so organized, and you could only have 30 in the theater. So we had a little taste of it, but it wasn't the full thing. It just didn't feel the way it should. And I know from those 4 or 5 readings we did that the desire is so strong for people to go to anything. And I mean, listen, it was great for the first month or two. People were like, "Oh, I'll catch up on Netflix and Disney Plus and all these things." But inevitably, when you're exposed to everything, you've gone through the whole catalog, you're like, I want to go to the things I do, which is a gig in Dolan's or a play in the Bell Table. Those things are, that's what breaks up our week. That's what we, live for, really. So I'm hoping now that this return on Saturday, even though it's virtually, is kind of, there's been a few things happening, with music and theatre in the last few weeks, which has been great. And I hope that it's part of this dipping the toe back into getting people excited about the day when they can walk back in the theatre. But for now, it'll be all online.
I think that's been great. I've definitely noticed. I think in the first couple of months, people, as you said, were on Netflix and kind of settling into this new working from home life. And I suppose we all thought it'd just be a few weeks. Whereas I've noticed in the last couple of months, people are tuning in virtually. They're getting tickets, they're watching from their homes, and a lot, like I've seen a few shows in the line tree there in the last couple of weeks, especially. And it's great. You're on Twitter and you can just see everyone tweeting about it, and more people each week are tuning in and logging in, which is what we want. So that's why we're talking about your next play. So talk to us about the concept, because I have to say I just think it sounds incredible.
Yeah, it's absolutely mad. It's a very hard thing to talk about because I know pretty much nothing. Okay. And literally, I kind of feel like, dream on, but like imagine you were in a Marvel movie and you couldn't talk about it because you don't know the plot or they don't give you the script. So basically what it is a playwright from Iran wrote a play called Red Rabbit, White Rabbit about 20 years ago while he was under house arrest. And over the years, it has been performed in Edinburgh and on Broadway and all over the world. But the concept is the script gets mailed to you that day and you can't open it. You're not allowed to open it until you walk on stage. So you have no idea what you're reading. You have no idea how long, how short. Is it a comedy? Is it drama? It's the same play all the time. So one could probably go and Google and find out. And that's been the hardest thing, is that I'm really kind of nervous about it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, if I went online now and found out anything about it, it would defeat the purpose. So because we're not doing it on stage, I'll be doing it from my home here, kind of in isolation on my own, which is kind of mirroring, I guess, the idea of this play that was written in actual lockdown for political reasons. I will get the play delivered at, I think, 6:30, and I have to open it, open the envelope on Zoom. So if you're in the audience and your friends, your family, or whoever, over Zoom, it'll be like I'll be in a window like this, and I'll be opening the play, and then I will begin reading it. And it's kind of a terrifying concept, but we've done lots of readings before where, so I'm used to reading and sharing a performance. But even then in our readings, we rehearse all day. I will literally know nothing. And that's where the play starts. And I guess it's trying to capture the intimacy and immediacy of a live performance. Something, I've done a lot of TV, I've done some film over the years. It is very much a different thing than being on stage. You get recorded, you do your cuts, you start again. When you're doing theater, there is no going back. There is no, oh, I made a mistake, can I go back? I mean, that's obvious to anyone who enjoys theater, but we're trying to replicate that, and very much so. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. And I think the idea is for audiences to come along and be part of that excitement. It's my nerves, but hopefully it'll be their excitement.
It's incredible. And I know it's happening this Saturday, the 13th at 8 p.m., but it's going to be happening in theatres all across the world as well. So
Yeah,
it's quite powerful to know that all these venues who are all suffering, who've all felt the lockdown, who are still in lockdown like we are, but you're all going to be doing this in all different corners of the world, which I think is also pretty cool, because I suppose your interpretation of it and someone in a different country's interpretation might be completely different. So I guess as a viewer, it's all nearly down to interpretation, I suppose, as well.
100%. I mean, look, the great play texts over the years, the likes of Shakespeare or Miller, or, Friel or something like that, they'll always be brand new every time you see them because it'll be a different actor. And as you say, this is happening all over the world. So there's people, in the UK, in America, in Australia doing this. And as far as I know, I'm a white straight male doing this role. But in America, it may be, someone, who's female, somebody who is living with a disability, somebody who is of a different race or whatever, creed, whatever. So the reality is the script will naturally change by the virtue of who the performer is. And I think that's part of the magic of it. And I say this still not knowing what I'm doing. So it's a really, really strange thing. And I mean, actors love, I won't say crutches, but we love bits. Actors like, can I wear a hat in that show? Can I do an accent? And I think with this, it's just stripping everything back. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff that's been online, which has been very produced and, with great lighting and great sound. They all look fantastic. And it's that reminder of what theater can be. But for this, it's going to be me, you, and everybody else in a room, in a moment, and me trying my best within, it could be 40 minutes, could be an hour. I actually don't know, to communicate a real moment in time. And hopefully, look, I imagine if this play has been done as many times as years, it's very good. But I've been trying to read nothing. I mean, I've been told a little bit by Marketa at Belltable, who's producing the show through Bigger Picture Bigger Picture projects, that, actors like Whoopi Goldberg have done this, Bobby Cannavale, Darren Criss, there's Cynthia Nixon. So, I'm not like any of those. So we're going to get a brand new experience on Saturday. And like you say, it is that sense of unifying everyone. Everyone has been in the same boat. If you're working in theatre, whether it's in the West End or on Broadway or in Limerick with Bottom Dog or in Dublin at the Gate or whoever, we're all in the same boat, that we have not been able to do what we do for a living. And whether you do it for a living or not, whether you're, an amateur enthusiast or someone who likes to perform on a casual basis, it's the one thing that we have not been able to do. There's been little guidance, little guidelines lifted. So it's really to mark how difficult that's been, but also to celebrate this has got to be the beginning. The vaccines are here, they're rolling out slowly here, but this has got to be the beginning. And as I said at the start, if it isn't the beginning of entertainment coming back in the live medium, then what was all this for?
Yeah. I have to say, and I think it's so poignant as well, the fact that it's a year on from when the doors were shut. But of course, Lime Tree Theatre for more information on how people can get involved on Saturday night, 8 p.m. And I have to say, I'll leave the link as well with this video. But Liam O'Brien, thank you so much for chatting to us on the Limerick Post Show. And all I can say is the very best to luck on Saturday. And I'm sure it'll be an incredible, incredible show. And I know all those that are going to be tuning in are in for a treat as well.
Thanks a million, Meghann. Good to see you.